Hi, this is Chris Thomas. Interview date May 1st, 2022. Hiring company Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster booth Waterfront Music Pavilion. 1 Harbor Boulevard, Camden, New Jersey 08103. The first question is describe your most rewarding college or work experience. The most rewarding experience for me so far would have to be my college experience as a whole and becoming a member of the National Society for Collegiate Scholars following my first semester. I feel that first enrolling in college to further pursue my goals in life was one of the best decisions I could have made, not only for the fact that it will potentially benefit me in my desired career path, but I've also attained a lot of useful knowledge that I didn't have prior to my enrollment, as well as information that I didn't even know that I needed to possess regarding my overall goals in life. Question 2 is, what is important to you in a job? I feel that the most important things that I look for in a job at the moment are accessibility, fairness, and safety. By accessibility, I mean that I prefer to work somewhere that I don't have too long of a commute, or even an employer that I can work for remotely, because for one thing, the transportation anywhere costs money, whether for a car and gas or for public transportation, Uber, etc. And secondly, it takes away from time that could be spent working. Fairness from my employer and colleagues is something I value very much, as I've seen what it's like to work for some really great employers who paid fairly and took care of their employees, as well as taking jobs where there was no offer for employment growth or wage increases even when asked. And finally, my employee safety I take very importantly, meaning that it's important to me that myself and other employees are in good health if they're going to be at work, and that the work environment is also safe from hazards. Question 3 is, what are your long-range career goals and what are you doing to achieve them? My long-range career goals are to be able to make a living creating art in whatever form that is that I feel allows me to express myself or my creativity. I've made music since I was a teenager and am now graduating with a Bachelor's of Science degree in music production from Full Sail University this month, and I'm exploring ways to market myself as a producer and music artist. But I've also liked to do visual art since I was a child, and putting that to some form of profitable use would also make me happy. If not one of those two, I have a passion for cooking and creating recipes as well. So, as well as experience working for various restaurants and food service establishments. So that's something to always fall back on, and I can always work on my other artistic passions as a hobby, if nothing else. Question 4 is, what are your greatest strengths and or weaknesses? My greatest strengths are my passion for what it is that I do, no matter what that is, as well as my focus and attention to detail when I take pride in something I'm doing. I've always had great customer service and excellent personable skills when interacting with others. I'm a very trusted and trustworthy person who goes above and beyond to please others, sometimes too much, and that's one thing that I would also consider somewhat of a weakness because it allows me to have my generosity or willingness to help others taken advantage of. And one final thing that I consider both a strength as well as a weakness is that I second guess everything, which in one way makes me take more consideration into how I treat others and the choices I make, but on the downside it sometimes makes me hesitant to jump for beneficial opportunities. The final question is, what is your most memorable accomplishment? And I would say my most memorable accomplishment would come back to my college experience as a whole. I was skeptical to first join when speaking to the college recruiter, and there were even a few times throughout my degree program where I was considering giving up on following my degree because I felt like it might have been a waste of a dream to follow. But nevertheless, I'm glad and extremely proud of myself for having seen it all the way through and not letting my self doubt lead to self defeat. Um, my three follow up questions are: first, if chosen for this position, what is the average estimate duration of the hiring process between interview and employment, and how much is the starting wage? Secondly, can you tell me about the health benefit options offered to employees following the new hire grace period? And finally, what is the likelihood for existing employees from one department of this venue, for instance, the Ticketmaster recording parking booth, to be considered for employment in another department of their desired interest, provided that they meet the required qualifications for the desired position? For instance, as a sound engineer.